Most interesting that we're getting 2 Rarity episodes in a row. On top of that, we haven't had this much interaction between Rarity and Rainbow Dash in any other point in the show's history. Only one that even comes close would be Sonic Rainboom, and even then there wasn't much of a chance for their personalities to play off each other. I have to admit, I actually had a lot of fun with Rarity Investigates. It goes to show just how great these characters are when you can take any 2 members of the main 6 and a lot of the dialogue just seems to write itself. After watching this story, I can't help but want to see more episodes revolving around these 2. And yet there's plenty more to enjoy beyond the character interaction. The story begins with Rarity and, Sassy Saddles. She hadn't left much of an impression on me during Candelot Boutique, but perhaps if she were to become more of a regular character in the show, maybe we'll get to see more intriguing elements in her personality. In fact, a lot of this story feels like a natural follow-up to Candelot Boutique. I actually hope the writers try to do this with more episodes so the whole series feels more like a grand story. Just don't make this much of the opening dialogue all about exposition. There's gotta be better ways to introduce the story to your audience using a more show-don't-tell writing style. But at any rate, Rarity talks about a new character called Shadow Spade and how she's suddenly interested in solving mysteries while wearing fancy outfits. We've never heard any of this from her before, but okay, I'll buy that. She attends a high-class dinner where Rainbow Dash introduces Rarity to a legendary Wonderbolt known as Wind Rider. We've never heard her mention this guy ever before, but okay, I'll buy that. And the next morning, Spitfire goes missing and every pony instantly thinks Rainbow Dash is responsible.
Pull the other one!
Yeah, I don't buy that for a second. However, it does lead into some highly entertaining moments with Rarity as she dons her costumes. The animation introduces a very noir environment, and the soft jazz makes for a perfect bit of background music as she narrates every step of the mystery. Now this is the sort of creativity I really enjoy seeing from the MLP staff. A loving tribute to a classic film genre while also poking fun at the concepts here and there. As I watched the episode, I couldn't help but try to figure out the clues along with Rarity, and at least for the most part, it kept my interest while creating some fun little side gags along the way. Yes, well, as you can probably tell, this was easily the most entertaining part of the story. I can already imagine a whole slew of fan art and fan fiction popping up from just this concept alone. Unfortunately, the payoff wasn't quite as good as I was hoping. The moment Wind Rider pointed out Rainbow Dash as a suspect, I was really hoping that there was more to the mystery than just the simple jealousy of an aging flying ace. Like, perhaps Spitfire's mother had a desire to get her daughter out of the Wonderbolts for some reason, and was setting up a situation where she wouldn't be able to perform. Or maybe Spitfire herself had a secret she was trying to hide and didn't want any of the other Wonderbolts to know about it. In either case, you could set up a conflict where the culprit had no intention of setting up Rainbow Dash as a suspect and it just happened to turn out that way. But instead we get a rather obvious setup early on in the story that didn't turn up many surprises for me. Though I'm sure I'm being too harsh with this sort of mystery since a lot of other people still thoroughly enjoy this kind of character being exposed. And it certainly worked for the story as a whole since the main focus was supposed to be on Rarity and Rainbow Dash. And like I said, these 2 turned in a great performance. We get to see a new side to Rarity with her passion for mysteries, while still keeping her love of fashion and a familiar knack for getting what she wants through flattery. Rainbow Dash gets to indulge in her highly adorable levels of fangirling while providing some needed commentary on Rarity's more eccentric behavior. Which I find rather intriguing since Rarity is usually the one who points out others' crazy ideas and shenanigans with a deadpan delivery. I like seeing a bit of a role reversal here, honestly. Cheers to both Tabitha and Ashley for some fantastic voice work. The moral was kind of just tacked on in my opinion. There really isn't much of a lasting lesson that we haven't seen in the show before. While I didn't find Candelot Boutique all that entertaining or creative compared to a lot of the other episodes, both the moral and the payoff were a lot more memorable and relevant to life. But while I would use Canterlot Boutique as an effective teaching tool, Rarity Investigates is a much more enjoyable and creative episode that I could easily watch again and again. Now I would like to hear from each of you. What do you think of this new side of Rarity who goes around solving mysteries while changing her wardrobe every few minutes? Would you want to see more interaction between Rarity and Rainbow Dash in future episodes? Are you a fan of this noir style of animation complete with soft jazz in the background? Given that we've had 2 Rarity episodes in a row, how do you think this entry compares to last week's Canterlot Boutique? I would like to hear your thoughts on Rarity Investigates, and here's looking forward to even more creative callbacks to classic film genres in future episodes. I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Rainbow Dash was questioning my methods, but I knew what I was doing. Do you? Oh, did I say that one out loud?